Hi, it's Mark here. What I'd like to do with this little video is give a preview of the strategy that we have in mind for the challenge sets for a big sustainability hackathon that's coming up end of February, March of 2022. Now we have quite a few sponsors that are lined up, and one of the challenges here is to line up all the sustainability issues and problems and challenge sets that we want to do with a thematic that makes sense to the sponsors and the students and participants alike. This is a bit of a dynamic process because it depends a lot on just who is interested in working with us. So because we have more than a critical mass, a pattern is emerging here that I want to share with you. So one of the emerging patterns is that we have a number of cities and community representatives and stakeholders that are quite keen and have a tremendous amount of various sustainability challenges available. This includes the City of Brampton, the City of Vaughan, Waterfront Toronto, and the Toronto District School Board. So they sort of form a whole section of sustainability interests. Another is that we have a significant number of sponsors that are very keen on various net zero type goals, including FutureTel, Formula One, grocery chain Loblaws, and CPAWS as for starters. A third set that is emerging are global causes. And the global causes where we have deep interest in and supporting sponsors include mental health and healthcare inequities around the world. So there we have CAMH, Roche Data Science, Rescue.org, and Yog.font for starters. Another section that we look to form is about college and campus institutions and the sustainability initiatives that they have. Obviously, we start here with Seneca, but because the hackathon is open to other institutions, we'll find ways to liaise with them too. The types of sustainability challenges that campus tends to have are quite common. And then a final section might be dealing specifically with technology focus areas and looking at ways to apply new technologies, typically in the blockchain type of area, into to solving sustainability problems. This here is just meant to give you sort of a visualization of the very, very high level of very, very keen interest that we have from our supporters and sponsors. So first, if we take a peek at what the cities and communities challenge sets might look like, you can read it here, but there's a high interest in modeling and monitoring of building energy consumption systems. So this might take us all the way to building information modeling, such as BIM, smart city management, IoT devices, etc. Another thing that we see, very common theme, is encouragement of the community to get active with natural heritage and eco hubs that communities are building. A third one, interestingly, is a high amount of water wastage in the systems in cities, and using technology to help monitor and maybe do QA and QC. Climate monitoring and planning for cities with higher levels of resilience, modeling that kind of thing, that's a big challenge set there. Practical things we're hearing from the towns. Number one type of inquiries that they get from the citizens is, when is the snowplow coming? When is the garbage going to be picked up, etc. So to use some of the modern systems that we have, smart city kind of systems, IoT, AI, etc., to come up with more precise answers based on artificial intelligence and things like that. And then a lot of data that's being made available to us through GIS systems, LiDAR systems, very detailed analysis of the geography and terrain within cities that can be used for analysis purpose. So we have virtually a treasure trove of data and challenge sets and highly interested stakeholders representing cities and communities. Our net zero partners have recognizable names, and such as Formula One Canada that operates the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal. The typical themes there are e-waste reduction, event. This would be specifically for the F1, like looking at the carbon footprint of the overall event itself and managing that and being able to measure and target towards a net zero. Food waste and being efficient in restaurant operations. This is a big target. Looking at greenhouse gas emissions data that comes from government, etc., analyzing that. And then we might have this as a separate chapter. It kind of depends on how our sponsors are coming in, but corporate social responsibility. Our global causes, we're definitely going to have a big mental health global cause in here because of the association with CAMH, and we really want to focus there on gambling and social media addiction and inequities caused there. We have a big challenge set together with Roche using OECD health data and using that, analyzing that, breaking it down, applying machine learning, etc., algorithms to identify and inform sustainability issues in healthcare that can be applied in Canada. And then we have sort of we have a very cool solution that we'll be looking at together with rescue.org, dealing with healthcare inequities in remote areas of Africa. College and campus institutions. This drives some of these initiatives closer to home and working very closely with the sustainability offices within the campuses, and you see a lot of the initiatives that are there, and this is an excellent way for students to innovate very close to home. And the use of, sort of mentioned this before, applications of, let's say, blockchain for use in credential wallets, maybe blockchain for use in carbon credit management, maybe blockchain to provide transparency in the supply chain so that you can check the authenticity or the carbon footprint of the product that the consumer is buying. Very high interest. This may wind up being a separate section, but very high interest in application of GRI and SASB accounting standards. How are we going to govern? So this may be of interest to volunteers and people that are part of the committee, but how we plan to, this is quite a big engineering effort to build these challenge sets in a meaningful way. The way this is going to be governed is through a challenge set committee. It will be set up at the senior level. The way we organize the hackathon committee is through one sort of division that is focused on our sponsors and partners. We call that partner experience. And the second, which is focused on the student, we call that student success. So for each of the sections that we have there, we will be, from the student and volunteer population, be assigning section managers. So the section manager for the partner experience will be the ones liaising with the cities and companies, etc., helping to define the challenge sets with them, understanding their business problems and envisioning potential solutions. And they'll be working with a section manager for student success so we can translate this effectively for the participants to understand. The section managers will have officers, so challenge set officers, so that we essentially identify at least one officer per challenge set, at least one officer per sponsor that we have. So this is how we plan to govern it in general. The positions will be filled in the coming weeks, and the organization will be announced. So of course we're also looking to staff these positions the best we possibly can. Thank you, and email me anytime.